Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I thought I'd do a bit of a review, sort of mid to long term review on my race shoe from last year, which I'll be wearing into the 2024 season as well. So I used to, previously through the last couple of seasons, I wore the Nike Alpha Fly, which is the top spec sort of carbon shoe from Nike, but I've been a bit not impressed with the sort of the build quality of that shoe, to be fair. Haven't done a lot of mileage in it, but I've already got a hole in the toe. The sole on the shoe as well is not in good condition, so I haven't been that impressed with that shoe. And for £250+ shoe, don't think I really got the value out of it, to be fair. Raced pretty well in it in that sense, but in terms of longevity and the build quality of the shoe, I've been not very pleased with it at all. So last year, made the decision to go back to a shoe company that I've wore quite a lot of in the past, especially when I was younger, racing a lot of track. So gone back to the Adidas. So last year I had this Adidas carbon shoe, which is the I think you pronounce it Takumi Sen 9. So I don't know what the Sen stands for, but this is a Adizero shoe as well. So Adizero is their sort of top of the range sort of shoes. So they'll do track shoes in terms of spikes for the sprint, middle distance, long distance. Also a lot of field shoes, long jump, triple jump, high jump, etc., and shot put and all those. So this is their sort of their road shoe. So last year I purchased this. I think they retail about 180, 190, but you can get these kicking around in the sales for about £100 now, which is fantastic value, I think. So the shoe itself, it's pretty lightweight shoe as well compared to the Alpha Fly. So this shoe, I think in a size UK 8.5 is around 180 grams. I haven't weighed this shoe, which is a size 11 UK, but I can't imagine it being much over 200, if that. So the shoe itself is really nice, actually. Like I said, it's carbon, but we've got these carbon rods. So I think it's three carbon rods that you can see here. I'm not sure if there's any more up here, but the shoe itself, yeah, it's classed as a carbon shoe. But it also, what's really nice about some of the Adidas is they've got a bit of a collaboration with Continental. So a lot of the sole here and here is sort of Continental tyres, so Continental rubber. Which is really nice, actually. I haven't wore this shoe too much in the wet, but a previous Adizero shoe that I had back in 2016, 2017 also had the Continental sole, and that was really, really good in the wet. Plenty of grip, even in the dry. You can just feel that it's just a really nice abrasive sort of grippy shoe, which is fantastic. So yeah, so in terms of the sole, yeah, we've got the carbon, and then also the Continental shoe sole. But the sort of heel to forefoot, I think the heel is about 33mm. Front here is 27mm, so you've got about 6mm midsole drop from heel to sort of forefoot. So it's a nice shoe in terms of getting plenty of sort of leverage, comfortable to wear, and even though it's very lightweight, it feels, when I'm running as well, a good quality shoe in terms of it doesn't feel too light. So like I said, I've been pretty pleased with these. In terms of the top of the shoe as well, in terms of this section here, I think it's 50% made out of recycled material as well. Yeah, I'm sure that it could be more, but just from a sustainability point of view, having Adidas making the effort to sort of make a lot of the material as much as possible sort of recycled, which is fantastic. I know they've got some great partnerships with, I think, Stella McCartney and things like that, and do a lot of sort of recycled and authentic or sort of organic shoes and product, which is fantastic. But having the shoe as well, having that sort of little bit of sustainability is great. So in terms of the rest of the shoe, in terms of the fit and everything, I've been really pleased with. I wear, at the moment, I've got my elastic laces in here. I tend to wear these all year round. I tend not to swap them in and out. So it's quite lightweight at the front. I mean, like I had a few problems with the Adidas, with the previous Nike shoe, but in terms of the fitting here, it is quite, if you can see my hand through here, like it is quite thin at the front, which is fantastic, especially if you're a triathlete, obviously getting off the bike, especially maybe in the shorter races, if your feet are still a little bit wet, or if you're doing aquathons, for example. Very breathable. And I haven't wore these too much through the winter months yet in terms of racing, so I think I've mainly raced through these through the summer period, so I'm not sure how they'll go in sort of the duathlons in sort of March, sort of April time this year that I've got, whether it's going to be a bit colder and possibly a little bit worse then in terms of actually keeping my feet warm. But it is a race shoe, so lightweight as possible is often the what you need, rather than having something that's going to keep your feet warm. This isn't a training shoe, so so in terms of the features, in terms of the tongue, and I think sometimes with a lot of shoes, when you haven't got an elasticated or built-in tongue, or something that's, it can be a little bit difficult when you put in shoes on, especially when you're going through transition pretty quickly and having a tongue that doesn't quite sit right. Obviously you've got the loop in the, as most shoes, you've probably got the loop in the tongue here just to loop the laces through, which I haven't done, but yeah, it's a nice fabric material here. I haven't had any rubbing or any issues in terms of the tongue on the front of the foot, especially as sometimes I'm wearing sort of lower sort of ankle socks. Again, in terms of the rear, you've got this nice little flap here, which also protects a lot of your ankle as well. So again, I've seen no rubbing, or anything with this shoe. Actually cleans up quite well as well, considering it's sort of a white base. I've worn this a couple of times, especially with a few of the duathlons, especially in the UK. You can tend to get a little bit dirty, but yeah, a bit of a wet wipe after the race, and it's still stayed fairly clean, considering I've probably had a bit of a season out of these shoes. And then in terms of the shoe, in terms of the feeling of racing, from the Alpha Core, it just doesn't feel as bulky. It feels a lot lighter, very responsive. 5K wise, yeah, you always get a bit worried whether when you're racing a bit on a concrete surface or tarmac surface or on the race circuits, when you're doing some of the faster runs, you're always a little bit worried about getting that sort of burning sensation. But yeah, with a decent pair of socks, the shoes have been absolutely fine. I've sort of equaled my sort of over 40 sort of 5K PB in those shoes. I've been running pretty well in the duathlons with them, even on the second run where coming off the bike, feeling a little bit fatigued. I've never had that sort of soreness in the legs from feeling that I've got a shoe that's too light. So I think maybe that's some of the carbon rods within the shoe as well. So as a real sort of shoe, and the duathlons, I'm racing a sort of a 10k run and then a 5k run at the end. So you're looking at doing a good 9 miles worth of running in those shoes at a good pace, well under sort of 6 minute mile pace. So and the 5Ks again have been a really quality shoe for that. Not sure how they would work maybe up into the longer distances for something like a 10 mile or a half marathon, but definitely over sort of 9 mile as part of a duathlon. Those shoes, I found them really comfortable. No sort of real leg soreness from the actual shoe itself, and the fit's been pretty good. For me, I generally fit an 11 UK in most of my shoes. Those shoes come up pretty standard. They don't come up big or small compared to some of the other brands. So I'm wearing a size 11 in Hoka, I wear a size 11 in Asics. Same as these Adidas, a size 11 is just spot on for me. So yeah, the size wise, they're probably pretty regular to the other shoe brands. So I think for 2024, I'll probably keep with those shoes this year. Maybe if I don't buy another pair, I might even buy another pair of those. The price of 100 quid as well, absolute bargain at the moment. Say bargain, £100 for a pair of shoes is still pretty expensive, but reducing them from 180 down to 100 quid is a pretty good buy in terms of the performance that you're getting from the shoe. And I probably won't go back to the Alpha Fly, in fairness. I think although performance wise, I got some good races out of them, but just the price of the shoe in terms of, and then in terms of actually the wear and tear there and how long they lasted, I wasn't impressed with them whatsoever. Whereas the build quality on the Adidas shoe seems to be pretty good, and so far I'm impressed with them. So yeah, well worth purchasing those. I think for me as well, I'm quite a light guy. I'm sort of 65, 66 kilograms, so that shoe for me seems good. I'm not sure, maybe for some of the heavier or bigger athletes, whether it's the same sort of whether you'll get the same sort of performance, or you might feel like you want something with a bit more stability or cushioning. I'm not sure, but personally for me at my weight, the speed that I'm running, I found those shoes to be a really good sort of really good blend for me. So yeah, so generally big thumbs up. Rate them probably over the Alpha Flies for me personally. I'm really looking forward to getting another season in with those shoes. Yeah, if you want to see any more videos, I'll hopefully post some more coming up in the next few weeks of other kit and other things that I've been using last season and into this season. It'd be great if you can like and subscribe the video. Not got too many subscribers at the moment, so really looking to build a few more followers on the channel. So like and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video.